Just before we get into this video, guys, a quick little bit of housekeeping. The film and TV industry is something I've wanted to break into for years now. I studied for university, getting myself a BA and MA in the subject. Sadly though, trying to find work has been next to impossible, which is why I created this, my website. It's been up for a few years now, and the idea is to try and find more work within the film and TV industry. On it you can find my portfolio, as well as my showreel and much more. All I need from you guys is to share it around as much as possible, but only if you enjoy the videos. The more you share, the more videos I will make for this channel. You don't have to be a regular viewer here, and you don't even need to subscribe, just share the website around and I'll be happy. Now, on with the video. And hello everyone and welcome back to an episode of My Isolation Podcast, one of the best media-related podcasts you've never heard of until right now. My name is Connor, thank you so much for tuning in, and today we're going to be talking about the newly announced Super Mario Galaxy movie, which was
Yes.
announced like 2 weeks ago. I have my friend Alex Miller with me.
Hello, hello.
Right off the bat, Alex, right off the bat, Alex, I just want to apologize because this is the second episode I've had you on where we talked about a video game adaptation. Just kind of, I did
No
discuss
worries, no worries.
this kind of, and the first one was even like an actual adaptation, just like a hypothetical one at that. I think it was about
Yeah,
Epic
basically.
Mickey, which may actually happen. Apparently, according to My Time was Shine
Hopefully.
Low, was
Fingers crossed, yeah.
yeah, I think that they were running around in March being like, oh yeah, they're doing an Epic Mickey movie because of the Oswald series or something like that.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't really believe Scoobers anyway because they suck.
No. I've been
uh,
disappointed in the past, so.
yeah, exactly. But now we are going to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which got announced as part of the 40th anniversary celebrations. It's going to be the main big event of the 40th anniversary, which is big and huge.
Mhm.
So let's very quickly talk about our thoughts on the 40th as a whole.
Mm.
Just because it got announced during the direct and everything, so nice
Of
to talk
course.
about it. Overall, really disappointed actually. Really underwhelmed. It's kind of
Yeah.
bad when your 35th anniversary felt a lot bigger than your 40th, which really should be the other way around. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's obviously 40th is it's a bigger thing you would assume because obviously it's a new decade. But yeah, pretty mid, I would say. Yeah. Pretty wasn't that I mean obviously the announcement of the Galaxy movie and stuff that's great, but apart from that I wasn't really too amazed by anything that they kind of announced.
Yeah, exactly. It's like with the 35th, you had the 3D All Stars, but you also had
Mm.
I think it was Mario 99. I think that was the online game that you had where it was like 99 different Marios kind of like
Oh yeah,
competing
of
against each
course.
other.
Yeah.
You had like 3D World from the Wii U days being poured over to the Switch. You had
Mm.
Mario Kart Home Circuit, which I didn't buy because I'm not
No,
paying £99 for a fucking toy car.
no, basically.
I don't have a big enough house for that.
No, some
Um,
people enjoyed it, I'm sure, but
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was just like I mean, like, the Galaxy ports or remasters or whatever, cool. But I mean, it's kind of frustrating for me because I already own Galaxy One on the first on Switch with the 3D All Stars version,
oh
and so
yeah, of
it's kind of
course.
like, and I prefer physical media. I'm a physical media man, so it's kind of like
Mm.
if I have to get Galaxy Two physically on the Switch, I have to buy the pack that comes with both of them. And it's like, oh boy, I get to own the same game twice. Fantastic
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was just a little bit, and plus we didn't see anything of like. I think there was a new Mario Tennis game that got announced. I mean, I don't really give a shit about Mario Tennis.
I don't think
Uh,
many people do at this point. I
yeah,
mean, clearly enough for them to release a new one, but yeah, I'm surprised, I'd say.
yeah, exactly. No updates for Mario Kart World. Like no like DLC characters or anything like that. Um, what else as well? There was no 3D Mario. Like the next 3D Mario platformer did not get
Still
announced.
no.
which is just
Yeah,
like where is it?
don't feel
What?
like it's what people actually wanted over a new tennis game, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, but everyone wanted a new 3D Mario game, and they were like tennis. That's what we'll do.
Exactly.
We'll do tennis. And it's just like, what are you talking about? Like tennis? Like oh my god. What else? Yeah, there was none of that. Um, maybe I'm struggling to remember what was announced because like that it was just
Well, there
there
wasn't
was that
really much
Nintendo.
more, to be honest.
Yeah, there was that Nintendo Museum thing, that artwork thing that sounded cool. But yeah, it was just overall, it was just really, really disappointing. I was just like, this was the 40th anniversary, and that's kind of what we got. Okay.
Yeah, that was basically it, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah, exactly. But they announced Virtual Boy coming to Switch Online, and they're selling the Virtual Boy headset for a fuck ton of money. Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Apparently, that's the only way you can play it. Yeah, as well. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
paying that.
no.
Not paying for that. But yeah, so overall, the 40th was a little disappointing. But we move, and so let's talk about our own personal history with Mario Galaxy One and Mario Galaxy Two.
Mm,
Um, Mario Galaxy One, I absolutely adore. I still own my original copy for the Wii, even though I don't have a
mm.
Wii anymore. I just remember, I think it's either that or Odyssey. They come close to being my favorite personal like 3D platformers in this series. The second game I never played until 2023 because I brought it because when you and I were living in London in
Yeah.
East Finchley, and I was playing. I think I was playing on your Wii.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
I still have mine. Yeah.
yeah, because I found it in CX like 15 quid, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's
I
proper good,
mean, yeah.
proper good. Took it home, put it in the Wii. Disc wouldn't read, so I had to take it back to get it cleaned. And
Nice.
then I read, and yeah, I played a little bit of it. I didn't play much of it, just because of timing and stuff like that. So now it's coming. Now the second game's coming out on the Switch. It'll be nice to kind of give it a good try. I think. What about you? What's your own personal thoughts on Galaxy One and Two?
Yeah, I'd say, to be honest, I loved both games. Galaxy One especially. One of, I'd say, my second favorite game on the Wii.
Hmm.
After Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Game kind of made my childhood.
Wow.
But yeah, Mario Galaxy One, I absolutely love that game. Probably one of my favorite Mario games overall, apart from Super Paper Mario. So
Hmm.
yeah, obviously it was a great premise, completely different to really anything that had been released before.
Hmm.
Very different. Galaxy Two again, slightly less experience, but number one, I absolutely loved.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to playing more of Galaxy 2, but I absolutely adore Galaxy 1 and its level design and mechanics, and it's just very creative. It is very easy, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like after Sunshine, which at points could be really difficult and really hard and really frustrating as well, particularly with the pachinko machine level in that
definitely.
game. Which I remember being, which one, it's one of those levels where even if you get the shine sprite, you can like die still.
Yeah,
Like you have to like
yeah.
still like jump up and try and land in the center to get the shine sprite, and it's just like, why, man? That's
It
just
definitely had a very steep learning curve, I would say, Sunshine.
yeah. Sunshine was an interesting. That was an interesting game. And I also quite liked. I did quite like the fact that Galaxy was also kind of. I mean, Sunshine had a slightly more story than more Mario games, but I feel like Galaxy was the first one to really have like a proper, like maybe a bit more in depth of a story.
Yeah, a bit more
Particularly
fleshed out. Yeah,
particularly with like Rosalina's backstory with the storybook and everything. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, the sequel Miyamoto kind of stepped in. He was like, "No, we're not making a direct sequel to the first game. We're gonna treat it like its own thing. We're not doing Mario games aren't supposed to have stories." And he was talking about an interview, and he sounded really proud of himself. And I was like, "Thanks, pal. You removed
yeah,
one thing, the one thing that everyone loved from the first game." But
yeah.
all right
Definitely.
then. Um,
Oh well.
but yeah, it would be good to play Galaxy 2 again. It'll just suck that
Hmm.
I'll have to buy Galaxy 1 if I want a physical copy.
Yeah, which
It's just
yeah.
like, I wish they just did like a Switch 2 version of 3D All Stars. Do you know what I mean? Like just
Hmm.
re-release it with like Galaxy 2 and maybe 3D Land for the 3DS as well. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
like just do that. Like you mean like re-release it as a Switch 2 version. Don't make it limited release this time. And then give Switch One if people own the Switch One version, just give them like an upgrade pack or something like that to
Yeah,
do.
literally just like a DLC or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it wouldn't be that difficult.
yeah, like, I don't understand why it would. I don't know why it would. Yeah, They are coming with like new pages for a Rosalina storybook, which will be interesting. I want
Hmm.
to see those new pages. I think Galaxy 2 comes with a new story as well about two Lumas, which will be really interesting actually to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, to talk about and stuff.
Okay. Great.
Um, and yeah, but yeah, I love Galaxy One. It's my favorite, and I like Galaxy Two, but I need to play more of it, and hopefully the Switch Two port will actually help out with that. I'm still
Definitely.
waiting. I'm getting my Switch Two fixed actually, so I'm gonna have to wait a little longer for it. Unfortunately, I could always bust out the Switch One, but like, nah, man. Like, once you swap from Switch Two to Switch One, you can't go back. Like, it's just I literally like because I signed it off to get fixed because obviously the Switch Two comes with a comes with a pre-installed screen protector, which
Hmm.
turns out to just be like a really thin layer of plastic. So it doesn't actually protect your screen. You can still get scratches and everything.
Mm.
So my screen's like scratched quite badly. So um, I've sent it off to get it fixed, and I'm waiting. And I've brought like a new tempered glass screen protector and
Nice.
um,
Nice.
a dock sock as well to put over the dock to make sure that doesn't
Mm.
scratch it. Um, which was a problem with the last Switch, which you would have thought they would have fixed for the
Yeah.
sequel, but I guess not. And I was thinking like, oh, I could set up the Switch One again, but it's like, nah, man. One Switch two, like once you go from one to two, you can't go back to the one. You have to stick. You have to stick with the two. So yeah, so I have to wait a
Yeah.
little. I have to wait a little longer for that, but it'll be fine. I
It'll
think.
be worth the wait. Worth the wait.
Oh
Hopefully.
god, yeah, it will be. Yeah, it will be worth the wait. Um, Let's talk about our thoughts on the first Mario Bros. Movie. I mean, most people know
Mm.
my thoughts. I really like the first one. As you know, someone who has been a fan of the franchise since he was about four.
Mm.
I think like 4-year-old me would have not been happy if 28-year-old me would have hated the first film when it came out. But I really enjoyed it as a fan. I thought it was really nice. I can understand why
Mm.
it got the reception it did, though. You know, I think particularly, I'm hoping now that this next film is galaxy focused, they can bring over a more in depth story to it.
Mm.
I think because I think that was really lacking with the first one, and yeah, but you know, I still enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know. What about you? What did you think of the first Mario?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time that I saw the movie was actually when we watched it in the apartment when we lived together. Actually, that was the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I think like you said, I think they wanted to kind of cast quite a wide net for the first movie.
Mm,
I think they were a bit worried about maybe pinholing it for like just like fans of the series. So they wanted to maybe cast quite a wide net, make it very accessible for other
yeah.
people who, might not know so much about the franchise.
Mm,
So they could go and watch the movie kind of, without that kind of back knowledge.
mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought the voice acting was great. I think the castings were great. Again, like it was, you know, I understand again, like you said, why people might have had why fans might have had like a bit of a bad reception towards it. But I enjoyed it for what it was, really.
I mean, I think it was. I think fans liked it. I think it was mainly just critics that didn't like it
Mm,
as much. But I think that was mainly. I think that's because I think it may have been a bit too heavy, particularly on the fan service. I feel like,
yeah,
yeah, like I feel like with fan service, particularly if it's a franchise that people aren't too familiar with. Like I think critics who watched it probably like played the odd Mario Kart or Mario Party with their like nephew or niece or something like
yeah,
that. I think, I think that a lot of them probably couldn't really get into it as much like actual fans because they saw the references and worlds and stuff like that.
mm,
And which you know like it's always good to appeal for fans, but I think you know never underestimate the power of the casual viewer. Never
no,
estimate
100%. Yeah,
that. Like a box office or TV ratings, it's all casual viewers. Most of it's casual viewers. None of it is like barely half it will be like hardcore fans. Like the
yeah,
first film made a ton of
pretty
money at
much.
the box office. Yeah, first film made loads of money at the box office. I can guarantee, like most of the people who went to go see that film probably weren't even hardcore fans of the series. They
No,
were
I
probably
wouldn't say
casual
so.
viewers.
Hmm.
And yeah, and also on the flip side, you know, like I hope that this next film doesn't go too hard on the fan service. I appreciate it for the first one, and I got why they did it for the first one. Same thing with story wise, you know, why it played a little too safe. You know, it was their first film in 30 years since the horrible live action version with
Oh God.
Bob Hopkins and John Leguizamo, who's still claiming that that was a good film. Apparently, John Leguizamo thinks that movie's good, which keep telling yourself that, pal.
Yep.
um, Michael, nah, I mean, in all seriousness, I know it's getting a cult following over the years, and people do really like it, and people are quite passionate about it, and that I can appreciate that. To be fair, they've done a good job uh, getting like old footage, for example. Um, like deleted scenes and editing them back into the film and lost kind
Mm.
of plot points and stuff like that. I think for the 30th anniversary of that film, they actually released like a 4K. They managed to get a 4K version released with like
Oh wow.
a book full of like different artwork, different like concept arts and stuff like that, which is really cool. And like a
Oh,
real
that's really cool. Actually,
studio.
wow, I didn't realize that. No, I didn't know
Yeah, yeah.
that.
The cult following of that film is like big. Like they're really
Mm.
passionate about it. Yeah, which is why like which I wouldn't have minded if like Nintendo actually acknowledged it a bit more. Like maybe if they made like Dino Hatton from that film like a level in Mario Odyssey just for like just for the hell of it, just for the lols. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and obviously, yeah, like in that film, Mario has different outfits. You can give him the outfit that he had in the live action film. I think that would be quite funny, to be fair.
Mm.
Um, but but yeah, so like but yeah, no, I thought the first film was good. I really enjoyed it, but I can understand why critics had the reaction that they did.
Mm.
And I do hope that story wise, we'll get into that in a bit more later on. But I
Mm.
do hope story wise that it actually does improve a little bit more. Um, but yeah, let's talk about the announcement of the Mario Galaxy movie. I mean, we knew they were making a sequel because they announced it back in 2024, during like a on Mario. I think it was on Mario Day in
Yeah,
2024. They announced it,
yeah,
and
pretty sure.
yeah, uh, and um, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're making a new movie. It's set in the world of Super Mario and all that stuff." But I guess people were a little bit like shocked that they're jumping straight into Mario Galaxy this time around. I think there was a rumor that it was going to be called Super Mario World, and it was going to be based on that, inspired by that game
Mm.
than anything else. Because obviously, end credit scene Yoshi appears in the end credit scene of the first film, so
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
you
of course.
think. And even in like the tower reveal, they literally have like the Mario World theme where they have that kind of thing,
Mm.
um, like playing little motif playing as you're going along the grass in the river, and so yeah, but it was quite a shock. I was kind of like, oh, well, we're jumping straight to Galaxy, and I mean, I can see why. You want to go. It's a second film. It's a second go around. You want to go big for it. You want to go. I really hate saying this word, but epic for it. I think the 2010s overused that word very badly. Um, I think you want to go bigger. You want to go bolder, and you
Mm.
want to go into like a direction that people wouldn't expect. You want to aim to be kind of like the Toy Story 2 or the Shrek 2s, that kind of high. You want to go with your second
Yeah,
film
yeah.
because those sequels are like proper peak, and literally as well. Like Shrek 2 is where that series peaked, and then it went down with 3, went a little
Oh
bit up
yeah.
with 4, and then the Puss in
Mm.
Boots films like went a bit straight with the first one, and then up with the second one because the second one was really
Mm.
good.
Yeah, the second one was really good actually. But yeah. I mean, bless you. Kind of to your point, yeah, they really need to kind of get everyone on board for this second movie because I think if you kind of go down or it's kind of at the same level as the first, people aren't going to be excited for then future movies. Like
Yeah,
you need this one to be a high. Um, but I think it's a good direction for it to go. Again, I was like you, a bit shocked. But I think Galaxy is very different to like a lot of other of the Mario games in that
mm.
regard, and so I think it's going to offer like a lot of unique um, kind of perspectives and unique decisions in the movie, which I think are going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what they're gonna do with this film,
Mm.
and like what ideas, like what elements from the game are they gonna bring? Well, we'll talk about this more later on, but
Mm.
like what elements from the game are gonna bring in, how they're gonna handle it, how they're gonna work with it, and are they gonna make any changes to the source material? Because the first film didn't really have that many changes to it. They stayed pretty faithful to it, and will Nintendo give them a bit more like liberty with it and allow them to make a few more changes to help even out the story a little bit more. And we can talk about more like what changes they could make later on.
Mm.
But I think it's definitely a bigger, bolder direction than the first one. And I think it will depend on like who's going to be in it. I know Donkey Kong's not in this one, which is fine. I mean, there's no reason for him to be in this film, to be honest. Um,
Mm.
I'm sure that Rosalina will be in it. I know Bowser Jr. and Wario are rumored to be in it.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's been a there was a few posts about Bowser Jr. specifically that got taken down by Nintendo for copyright. So I think that pretty much confirms that Bowser Jr. is going to be in the movie.
yeah, I think there was like a toy leak or something with him, if I
Mm,
remember, like showing what he was going to look like in the film.
yeah,
I think they gave him like three horns or something like that, which will be interesting.
so it's a bold
Um,
choice.
yeah. But no, I think the idea of doing a galaxy one will be interesting. I think the space idea is probably even interesting as well. You know,
Yeah.
Chris Pratt seems to have a habit of making films set in space. You know, the guy in his films, he did that film with
Oh
Jennifer Lawrence
yeah.
called Passenger, like
Mm.
back in 2015, which was terrible. Um, I never watched Electric State. Like, was that set in space or
Yeah, I
like?
never saw that one either, to be honest. Though.
I heard it was bad. That's why I not checked it out. Um, but but yeah, so he has a habit of making films set in space. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it was just shocking though to be like, because I knew it was going to be about a sequel to the film because obviously when it opened, I was like, oh, this is a sequel to the movie,
Yeah.
which we knew about anyways.
Mm.
But then like when the butterfly like flies up into the sky and the title gets revealed as the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I was kind of just like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah, definitely.
they're like, we're going to we're jumping this far ahead. Okay, we're doing this now. All right, um, it'll be good though. I feel it'll be interesting. I really I think it's just one of those things we need to see a trailer first. Um,
Yeah,
see
definitely.
what they're cooking up and stuff over there.
Yeah,
Seeing
get some
like
ideas about the storyline and the plot and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But let's speaking of Mario Galaxy movie, let's talk about the title as well. And
Mm.
what I feel like that could lead for future sequels. I think because obviously the first one was called the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and this one's called the Super Mario Galaxy Movie. I think like this was a kind of the obvious direction that we're going to go in terms of tilings with these films. Like naming it after something and putting the word movie at the end.
Mm.
I think that obviously because obviously when they announced this film, I think people seem to think that Nintendo are too are too hard to read, and it's like not really. Like you can pretty much guess the patterns quite well if you look at them hard enough. It's like there was a guy when the Switch 2 got announced start of this year. There was a guy who was like on Twitter being like, "Oh yeah, I've been told by my sources it's going to come out in June." And I was like, "Wait, like you can like I predicted it was going to be out in June. I don't have no sources because like look at the release pattern for the first Switch, right? First trailer in October, presentation in January, so nearly 2 months later, releases in March, so 1 month after that, and then Switch 2 trailer comes out in January, presentation in early April, so 2 months after that, and then comes out in June, which obviously meant that June would have been the month would have come out because that would have been the 1 month later after that. And
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
like again, like it's literally it's not that hard. And again, this wouldn't have been that difficult to figure out as well because when they announced this film in 2024, they didn't say, "Oh yeah, we're making the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2." They just said, "Oh, we're making a movie set in the world of Super Mario." I think that was immediately. I even did a video called "The Future of Nintendo" where I even said like they could probably follow on what they've been doing with the 3D game ever since the 3D era, really when they kind of seek there where this is a sequel to the first film, but it's also kind of its own thing as well.
Yeah,
Like
I
how
think so.
how Sunshine is kind of a sequel to 64, but not really. It's kind of its own thing. Galaxy One's a sequel to Sunshine, but it's also kind of its own thing. 3D Land's a sequel to Galaxy One and Two because obviously it
Mm.
incorporates elements from those games, but it's also its own thing. And even 3D World, which is supposed to be a sequel to 3D Land, but even that feels like its own thing. And Odyssey is kind of its own thing as well, where
Yeah.
they're borrowing mechanics and stuff like that from previous games,
Yeah.
but ideally, it is kind of its own, like its own kind of its own beast, basically.
Yeah, they're all like quite distinctive and stylized.
Yeah, that's kind of what excites me a little bit more about this film. And even just for future titles, could mean like what's the next game they're going to adapt? Is it going to be Mario Sunshine? I've heard people be like, oh, it should have an end credit scene where Mario says, "I need a vacation." I'll set up a Mario Sunshine film, which like that sounds like the worst thing in the world, and I hope they, for God's sake, they don't do that. Like, please no. I wouldn't mind a movie set in Altafino. That'd be fun, but
Hmm.
like no, don't like. Like, that would just be that would just
Be a
that would
horrible
hurt
way to
me.
set it up, but but yeah, I think the Sunshine Universe would definitely be. It's. I think that, or I was even going to say paper. I
The
know it's
Paper
not
Mario
one.
ones.
Yeah, because I think again, it's kind of like Galaxy in the regard that it is completely different.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, could offer some unique. I don't know how they do it, but could offer some very unique kind of perspectives. Um,
Mm.
just like I think that's probably the reason they chose Galaxy, to be honest, is because it's so different.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and so I think yeah, if you're kind of going in that direction of choosing the games that are like very distinctive and very different to each other,
Mm.
I think Paper Mario is probably the one that would come to mind after Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll actually like they could mainly. I mean, they could do a thing where Bowser casts a spell and everyone turns into paper. I guess
Hmm.
to
It would
like
be something
incorporate.
like that, I would assume. Yeah,
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 but
it'd be a bit hard to
mm,
maybe get it in, get it set
yeah.
up, but
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, but obviously, there's definitely multiple different ways they could go. Like,
hmm,
again, like they could do Odyssey next if they really wanted to. They could do 3D World next. The Super Mario 3D World movie that would be an interesting title.
yeah,
The 3D Land movie that'd be an interesting title.
hmm,
But I don't mind them titling the movies like this because again, it kind of indicates that this is going to be its own. It's a sequel, but its own, but it's also going to be its own thing. And even looking from the little title reveal, it's not really. I've seen people call it a teaser trailer. It's not really. It's just a title reveal. It's just slightly extended more than regular title reveals that you can get on Twitter and stuff like that.
hmm,
Um, but even starting from that, it literally does already feel a little bit more different than the previous film. Feels a lot. It already feels probably because they implemented the main Galaxy theme tune into the title reveal, but it already feels a lot more grand, a lot more bolder. If you look at the
hmm,
logo for it, it looks bigger and wider, and
hmm.
kind of like how the logo for the game looked compared to like the logo for the first film, which kind of awkwardly had the same font as the live action movies logo,
Yeah,
at least for the words "the" and "super." And I think Mario Bros was kind of in color letters and different color letters, and then Bros was in the like silvery kind of logo. But it already feels different and new, and we haven't even seen a speck of footage yet, which is um, which is going to be interesting when that trailer finally drops. I've seen people suggest like, oh, maybe they could do a Mario Party movie. And it's like absolutely fucking not, like absolutely not,
hmm.
like not that. I hate Mario Party. it,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
it was fun for a little bit, but it gets old very quickly.
It was like the first three on the N64 were great, and then I think
Hmm,
once they jumped to the GameCube, that's when they started to go downhill for me. I know that. I mean, I got brought Super Mario Party by a friend of ours for Christmas, 2022, and we were playing it.
hmm,
It was all right. It was fun, but I don't want a whole movie based on that. And it's kind of like how would you make a movie based on that? You know what I mean? Like at least with
hmm.
Galaxy, like there's like a presence there for like a movie. I think like it's definitely. I think they're definitely also picking games that can that kind of lend themselves more towards like film adaptations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And which will be interesting because I don't think the Mario franchise really has that many games that you can have that. It's not like with Zelda where like pretty much every Zelda game could be adapted into a film. Uh,
yeah. As an individual, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, which sadly they're not. I don't think they're doing for the live action Zelda film. I think they're going to go
Hmm,
with an original story for that one. Um, but um, um, with the Mario games, obviously, there's not that many that you can really do. I mean, obviously, you can like do stuff again, like the Galaxy games. You could do Sunshine. You could do Odyssey. Maybe Mario Bros. 3 gets adapted into a film. That would be interesting. Imagine if they called it the Super Mario Bros. 3 movie. That would be. There was there was a cartoon called The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, released in the '80s,
hmm.
and I remember because my mom would like rent out the VHS of that for us from time to time. Um, and yeah, so like
Hmm.
that's. But yeah, man, like that's the title. I'm sure like they'll probably have them titled like different. I mean, they might have them titled after different games, but I think that's pretty okay for me. I think it'll be all right.
Hmm. I guess by titling it by the different games, they kind of are only giving themselves one shot, though. I guess would be the way to put it. Like, if they mess up with this Galaxy and it's not this Galaxy movie and it's not what people wanted, it's not what people expected. It's not like they can really like go back to it
Mm,
necessarily. It's not like they
yeah,
can be like the Super Mario Galaxy movie 2.
yeah,
Like they they are one shot at it really for each game. If this is how they're gonna, you know, go on naming them like after each game.
Mm.
So yeah, they kind of have one shot at it. So it's definitely a risky choice.
Yeah, I mean, Minamo did say he's producing this film again, and he's saying
Mm.
he's loving the process so far. Um, and you know, like I feel like as a producer, you would probably say that anyways, but at the same time, though, I feel like Miyamoto would probably not be sound like that enthusiastic. To be fair, I mean, he is. Yeah, there have been times when he has been like very bluntly honest with his answers in
Mm.
interviews and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I feel like it would. I think it would. I think it is going to be pretty good. I'm looking forward to the new characters that they're going to be introduced in it, which will be the next point we move on to now. So
Yeah.
who's going to actually be in this movie? So obviously Mario, Peach, Toad, Luigi are going to be in
Mm.
it. Yoshi's going to be in it because obviously he appeared at the end of credits, and
Yep.
he was
Makes
his
sense.
model. Yeah, and his model was actually leaked as well. There was
Hmm.
like an old. I think Nintendo were doing a collaboration with Old Spice to promote this film, and a bunch of designs got leaked for
Oh
it.
yeah.
And we actually did see what Yoshi looked like, and he pretty much just looks like how he does in the games. Uh, I just, I just really hope he doesn't talk. I really hope he doesn't talk. I
God.
just keep it to the regular voice actress that voices him, and just keep, just have him say Yoshi over and over again. I feel like
Mm.
you can have a lot of, you can have fun with that. To be fair, I think you just have him say Yoshi over and over again. Have that be have a kind of like a running gag and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Where because I think in the Mario Adventures comic books, they had a gag where somebody sells where this con man sells Mario and Luigi a Yoshi translator book, and it just has the word Yoshi for like on every page. Like, oh yeah, yes mean yeah, Yoshi means yes, Yoshi means no, Yoshi means this. Which I think would be really funny. But yeah, I think it'd be really funny if like they're trying to talk to him and they're like, "What are you trying to say?"
No, definitely. Yeah, I think. Yeah, God, that would be. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be looking forward to that if they gave him a full voice actor. I think that yeah, you're right. Having him as kind of one of these side characters that can kind of speak but not really speak.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like as well, think of the Lumas as well, because obviously obviously one Luma appeared in the first film, and obviously they gave that because obviously in the games they don't have mouths when they
Yeah.
talk; they're kind of just little blobs that just
Hmm.
like float around back and forth. They do talk, but they don't like have a mouth moving up and down.
No,
And I don't know how I feel about Lumas having mouths. I can't lie. I feel like I kind
it's
of
a
prefer
bit
the
uncanny valley, yeah, because you're not used to seeing it.
yeah. It's kind, but I feel like it's kind of like when in the first film when Mario and Luigi took their gloves off and you saw them with like human hands, and it was just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh,
Ooh.
like no, put that glove back on, like put it back on. I don't like this. I don't like the fact that you guys are actually human.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're going to be more Lunas talking in this movie, so unfortunately, it is something that we're going to have to get used to.
Yeah.
I would assume.
I mean, I don't mind them talking, like, but it's
Hmm.
just seeing them like seeing them
With a
actually have
mouth
an actual like mouth
that
moving up and
moves.
down.
Yeah.
That's like I probably would have preferred if they just did the same thing in the games where they didn't have a mouth; they just kind of
Hmm.
spoke, like just kind of moved up and down and looked cute and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I feel like having a mouth, giving them a mouth to move up and down when they talk is a kind of it's just like just feels looks weird. It just
Yeah.
looks weird. I don't like it. But yeah, but I mean, obviously we've got other characters too. So obviously, like we said, Bowser Jr. is going to be in this film. Which I think. How do you feel about Bowser Jr. being in this film? Do you think it'll be a good idea?
Yeah. I mean, I think. I mean, it's looking like he's probably going to be the main villain of the movie.
Hmm.
You would kind of assume. Um, I think it does make sense. I think it'll be interesting to see how they kind of take on the character. Obviously, Bowser Jr. is the more kind of played off as the more kind of immature character.
Yeah,
In comparison to like Bowser, normally kind of a side villain in a lot of the games. Um, but it'll be interesting to see again how they do it. Really, um, I think within Galaxy, it's a good idea because I think Galaxy is kind of can be a bit kind of wacky.
Hmm.
Um, just I mean, if you play the games, you can kind of understand that, and I think Bowser Jr. is going to fit that quite well as kind of a more kind of wacky villain.
Yeah. No, I get. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and he was already in the first two games anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just natural to have him be in this film. But I think it will definitely be interesting, particularly if he is the main villain and Bowser's kind of they swap it round, so it's Bowser being more of a secondary villain rather than the big bad like he was in the first one.
Mm.
And I don't. I just want to see like where was Bowser Jr. in the first film? You know what I mean? Like I'm guessing that Bowser's they're probably playing up Bowser as like a deadbeat dad, and maybe Bowser Jr. just wants to rule the universe and
Do his own thing.
show
Yeah.
his father, I can do better than you.
Mm.
Maybe he like comes to the Mushroom Kingdom and actually gets his dad like free, because obviously is that in the last scene it's revealed that Bowser is like in a cage in Peach's castle. So maybe Bowser Jr. comes to Peach's castle, but he doesn't actually let him out of the cage. He kind of just keeps him in the cage, and he's like, "No, you're my pet now. Like I am your master. I'm your master." Like that kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it would be a good setup. Yeah,
mm,
I mean, yeah, because obviously, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. There's obviously everything about Bowser being like a bit of a deadbeat dad.
mm.
Um, and so yeah, that would actually be quite an interesting setup. Yeah, if he keeps Bowser kind of imprisoned.
Yeah. So it's weird how Mario has to like go after to stop him and also like kind of slightly save Bowser as well, which I think would be
Yeah,
interesting.
interesting
Uh,
perspective. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I don't know if I don't think they'll keep the whole Princess Peach being his mother thing that they had from Sunshine, where he thought Princess Peach was his mother because Bowser lied to him.
Oh
Um,
God, no,
I don't think they will. I think they'll probably avoid that. I think even
no.
Miyamoto was. I think Miyamoto, even Miyamoto wants to forget that ever happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they don't want to keep the kind of
Yeah.
fan theories and fan art going
Oh God.
regarding that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure
Like,
they want to leave that in the past.
yeah. Exactly. But I think him being the villain is cool. Rosalina is definitely going to be in this film.
Yeah.
Like you can't if Rosalina is not in this film, particularly how badly they're pushing her. Like she's going to be in the Switch 2 version as a playable character of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. They're pushing a new Rosalina amiibo for the Switch release of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. They're really pushing this forward. Like she's going to be in it. She's definitely going to be in
Yeah,
it. Like 100%.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that'll be really cool. I like Rosalina as a character. I think she's
Hmm.
an amazing character. Really, she's probably the closest to like any like an actual like 3 dimensional character in the Mario series with her backstory and everything like that.
Yeah, she's
Um,
very well rounded within the games. Yeah, given
yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah, like you were saying earlier with the storybook stuff. She's really is given like a fully fleshed out backstory.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I absolutely love our character. Really excited to see how they do her in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I just think that yeah, I just think she's a really cool character. I'm just wondering like what they're gonna do with like Peach's backstory too, because obviously Princess Peach revealed that she kind of went through a water pipe and just ended up in the Mushroom Kingdom, and the
Hmm.
Toads kind of just raised her to be their princess. So she clearly lost a family out there somewhere. And
Hmm.
Mario suggests maybe you're from Iowa, but maybe you're from Brooklyn, and even she's like, well, there's a big world out there with lots of galaxies, which we should have seen the signs. We should have seen the signs. Um, um, but I know that when they originally were developing Rosalina, they were going to make her and Peach related in some way.
Hmm.
I think they scrapped that earlier on. There's
Yeah.
even like early concept art where they have a look a little bit more similar to Peach.
Hmm.
So I'm just wondering, like, are they going to tie them both together? Are they going to like do a really big drastic change with that? Like maybe have it where her and Peach are like sisters, or mainly just sisters. I can't really imagine Rosalina being Peach's mother. Like,
No.
yeah,
No.
uh,
Um, I think I think it would. I think as she's so fleshed out already, Rosalina, that is. I think it would be. I don't think it would be a great decision
hmm,
um, to kind of retcon all of that and come up with like a fresh storyline just for the movie. Maybe they will.
hmm,
But yeah, in my opinion, I think if you kind of again because they've clearly made an effort to like flesh out her character so much
hmm,
um, and make her such a complex character. I think it would be a real waste to not kind of use that.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about it like that. To be honest,
Mm,
just because I think we're so used to like having adaptations change and rework things. But I don't know. I mean, I like that. I mean, obviously, I feel like Princess Peach's kind of heritage has to be addressed in this film. I think it would
mm.
be a bit of a weird one for them to like not address it at
And
all.
ignore it. Yeah, true.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind. I'm the opposite to you. I wouldn't mind if they make her and Rosalina related in some way.
Hmm.
But I feel like it'd be a cool idea. Like maybe like they were sisters and one of them got drifted apart, like accidentally walked into a warp pipe and got lost.
Hmm.
And maybe Rosalina's been going through the stars, like searching for her as well. And they could try and tie in like the stuff with their mother and everything like that, because obviously the implication is that her mother, like Rosalina's mother, is dead in the Mario universe, which is really
Hmm.
dark to think about.
Yeah.
I think it's implicated that she's buried under a tree. I think that was like one of the last pages of the story. I think.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it was
Yeah.
yeah something like that.
Mm. But yeah, you could still tie that in maybe, but it'll be interesting though to see. It'll be interesting to see what she looks like and what she's going to sound like who's going to play her. Same thing with Bowser Jr. as well. I've seen people say they want Kevin Hart as Bowser Jr. No, absolutely not.
No.
Keep that man away from this franchise. They've done pretty well with their voice actors so far. I mean, Chris Pratt's the only one that everyone's a bit iffy about, and now everyone's okay with him voicing Mario. I mean,
Hmm.
his Mario voice isn't fantastic. It's literally just him doing a very light Brooklyn accent,
Yeah.
but it's still fine. It's an okay like Brooklyn accent. It's not bad. Um,
No, like
yeah,
yeah, it didn't like stand out in the movie necessarily. Yeah.
yeah. And to be fair, I forgot like it was him as well. To be fair, like
Hmm.
I have to remind myself like multiple times that it was Chris Pratt voicing him. I think
Yeah.
after a while, like you kind of do forget who he is because he does kind of fall into that character pretty well.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, but also like Wario's kind of rumored to be in this film too. I wonder
Hmm.
who's gonna. I wonder. I know. I wonder what he's gonna sound like as well. Who's gonna play him? Who's gonna voice him? And stuff like that. I know people have been saying someone like Pedro Pascal has been like such a pan casted as Wario before. I think.
I can see that. I can see that
Yeah,
definitely.
but also seeing like Danny DeVito being rumored as Wario. I think that would be perfect. To be honest,
I
I
think
know.
yeah, yeah. Actually, you're right. Yeah, that's a much more that's a much better fit. I can see
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
like I know people really wanted him to voice Mario in the last animated film.
Hmm.
And I know that he was approached to play Mario in the live action one, and he also I think he was also offered to direct the live action one as well,
Oh
but he
wow.
turned them down. I think he was right to do that.
Yeah, direct. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh yeah, Danny DeVito's directed stuff. Like he's directed films. Like he directed Matilda, the the Roald Dahl adaptation with Mara Wilson.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he's directed stuff. Like he's a very good director, to be fair.
Oh.
Yeah, like he. I don't know if he's directed anything recently. I think he mainly
Hmm.
just acts these days. But he's definitely got a good talent for as a filmmaker. I think.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, like Warriors in this film. I think that because there was a plot leak, like quite a big long plot leak. Let me see if I can find it. So it basically says after receiving the key to Brooklyn for saving their home, Mario and Luigi enjoy life as heroes for the first time. But the celebration soon attracts an old acquaintance, Wario, a former co-worker who is blinded by greed and is willing to do anything to steal their glory. What begins as a dispute on Earth soon connects to a greater danger. Bowser Jr., Bowser's son, is secretly emerged and taken control of the mysterious center of the universe, with a plan that threatens to expand the Cooper Empire far beyond the Mushroom Kingdom. To stop him, the brothers embark on a journey through strange worlds alongside Peach, Yoshi, and Princess Rosalina, who must protect her twinkles before they are consumed in darkness. Each step reveals more dangerous evidence, and a black market for forbidden stars will lead them to confront the truths of they never imagined. But not
Hmm.
everything is in their hands. Seven elite Cooper hunters have been unleashed, one for each corner of the galaxy, and their mission is simple: make sure no one can challenge the new order that Bowser Jr. intends to establish. So that is the plot leak. So it'll
Hmm.
be interesting because obviously Wario being a all-time old acquaintance, like, and when they say former coworker, does that
Hmm.
mean that he's going to be? Was he on the construction team with them when they were working for Spike at the start of the last film, or
Hmm.
was he going to be part of their company that they started up and they had to get rid of him because he just wanted the money? He wanted to like increase prices and he was focused more on
Hmm.
greed rather than anything else, and how that's going to tie into um, how an Earth a dispute on Earth like connects to like a great danger with Bowser Jr. So as Bowser Jr. attract him and say to him, I can help you out if you help me out, like get rid of these brothers, ruin their reputation, something like that. I'll make you rich because obviously Wario is like greedy. He's just a greedy fucker. Like he's a very greedy fucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about hearing that plot leak? Like, how does that
Hmm.
what does that say to you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind about Wario is obviously in his kind of own games like Wario Inc., WarioWare, he's seen as this kind of guy who almost owns like an kind of empire,
Mm.
um, kind of this big like company or whatever. So yeah, it could be something as in like maybe yeah he wanted to like fire them from the company maybe because it was costing too much money or something like that. So there could definitely be some like animosity
Mm.
between Wario and the Mario and Luigi brothers. But we'll see, obviously. It does seem like there seems to be more of a fleshed out story. Hearing
Yeah,
about the kind of bounty hunter type thing that
mm.
guard each of the corners of the galaxy, that seems like a
Yeah.
super cool plot point.
I
Um,
think those are supposed to be the Koopalings, if I've got that right.
that would make sense.
Mm.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Which would be interesting because originally they were Bowser's kids, and I think
Hmm.
sometime in 2013, 2014 that got retconned and they were just minions that Miro. I think Miro were like, oh yeah, they were just minions that he found. He never had kids. Buzz Junior
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
only kid that he had,
I think it
and
was just, yeah. I think people started questioning who's the mother. I
yeah,
think so. Like, no, 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 no. Let's not think. Let's not think about that.
yeah. I mean, they'll probably say like, oh, it was a spell. He cast a spell and created his kids. A fucking
Yeah,
spell.
yeah.
But no, yeah, I quite like this plot leak. Well, if it's true or not, um,
Hmm.
and I do think that it's definitely got a bit more depth to it. Definitely got way more story to it, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Um, but yeah, Wario being being kind of a greedy acquaintance, I think that'll be interesting to see how he ties into that backstory. It'll be
Hmm.
interesting how he looks as well. I'm guessing they're going to make him look similar to Mario and Luigi, but just fatter
Yeah.
and
I mean, pretty
more
much. Yeah,
permed.
with the iconic mustache. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like obviously this means is Waluigi going to be in this film? I mean, the meme status is for him is quite expansive, but
I mean, they're gonna
uh,
have to introduce him at some point.
yeah,
Maybe it won't be in this one, but if it's not this one, then maybe the next one.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. And plus,
yeah, I
like,
mean, as he's not mentioned, you would kind of assume that he's not. I mean, he's not going to play a major part in this one, at
yeah.
least.
I've seen people suggest John Leguizamo to voice Waluigi because obviously that would be a good parallel because he played Luigi in the live action one and now he's playing
Hmm.
the evil Luigi in the anime one. I think that would be an interesting like parallel
Hmm.
between those two.
Yeah, I
Um,
can see it.
but you don't know, like maybe he tries starting his own plumbing company, Warrior Brothers Plumbing, and he gets Waluigi in there somehow. uh, don't
I
know.
mean, they are normally seen as a pair, so it would make sense.
Mm. Or it could maybe it could lead to like his own like Wario Land film, for example, where
Hmm.
like he's going treasure hunting and he finds Waluigi and they get close to one another and everything like that, and maybe that'd be interesting. I'd love to see like a film just based on Wario. To be honest, I feel like you could definitely do like kind of a like G De- G Deadpool kind of thing with him, but obviously G rated. I think,
Yeah, I can.
yeah,
Yeah, in that kind of vein, I understand. Yeah,
yeah,
I
where
mean, it's going to really depend on how you think how much they kind of flesh him out within this movie and how much he's liked by audiences mainly.
mm,
Obviously, if this movie is released and he's not liked by audiences, not well received, then obviously they're not going to give him his own standalone movie.
yeah.
So it is. Yeah, we'll have to see what the reception's like, I guess.
Yeah, they could try and make him the DK of this film because obviously I think Donkey Kong's getting his own film because I know they registered a trademark for it.
Ah,
Um,
okay, no, that's fair.
so that'll be cool. I can't wait to see.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they'll probably take a lot of inspiration from Bonanza because that game's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, but yeah, this plot leak is pretty good if it's true, if it's the real deal. It's got quite a lot of story to it, and I like how they called Rosalina Princess Rosalina. I don't think was she ever called Princess Rosalina in the games. I can't remember.
I think maybe by some of the Lumas, maybe I want to say,
Yeah,
but I can't remember exactly off the top of my head.
yeah. Like I remember the Lumas calling her Mama.
Hmm.
But I don't remember. I don't know if she was ever considered like an actual princess or not. Like I mean, she had a crown, I guess. So I guess
Yeah.
yeah, she has a maybe, but I can't remember. I've not played Galaxy in years.
No,
I've not played.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I need to really. Yeah, I need to really. I can't wait to play it again at some point. Um, but yeah, but again, like I can't wait to see what all these characters are going to look like and who they're going to sound like. Again, like who's going to voice Rosalina as well? Like who we're thinking is going to voice Rosalina? I
Hmm.
mean, it could literally be anyone. Um, literally anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
who's a big actress right now? It'll probably be that, I imagine.
She's like a trending actress. Whoever plays Wednesday, I forget the actress's name. I'm really bad.
General Ortega.
She's pretty big right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Hmm. But I mean, I don't know because like she still sounds quite youngish. Yeah, just get Adina. Yeah, Adina Menzel would be cool as Rosalina. I think she'd be
Who else
cool.
has
She'd
she
be cool
done?
at that. Because I know she's on loads of voice work. She was
Hmm.
actually in Enchanted as
Oh,
well.
yeah, Alphaba and Wicked actually as well.
Yeah, which I completely forgot about. But
Oh yeah, Enchanted. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
yeah, I know she was in Glee.
Interesting.
Um, but yeah, she can sing as well, which would be interesting. I don't know if they'll
Hmm.
actually give Rosalina a song to sing, but but no, I think that'll be cool. But yeah, I think there's definitely different actors you can go with. I
Hmm.
would prefer they went with an actual voice actor, but obviously this is modern day animation.
Yeah, they want actual
Um,
names. Yeah.
yeah, they want like big names, so
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is. I don't know if Charles Martinet will be coming back to voice Mario's dad. I don't know if Mario's like extended family will be back as well.
Hmm.
I'm quite surprised they were never made like playable characters in any of the games. Like I really thought like Mario's dad was going to be in like Mario Kart World and like
Hmm.
Mario Party like as playable characters because I think I quite liked seeing their extended family. I kind of wanted to learn more about them uh, as
Yeah.
as it went
Better
on.
kind of backstory. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just giving having Mario and Luigi have more of a family to go home to rather than just have them two by themselves. So it'll be
Hmm.
interesting to see if their family have anything like to play on it. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they're in the beginning, like Yoshi shows up in Brooklyn, they have to take him back to his home world, and then that leads them into like setting off into space. I'm
Yeah.
glad Yoshi, judging from the plot leak as well, looks like Yoshi is going to be joining them throughout the whole adventure, which I think is good because he was in the second game, and also I think people were worried that he was just going to be stuck in Brooklyn the entire time.
Hmm.
Because I think with the Old Spice collaboration, the kind of Old Spice that he was on was like called Brooklyn Scent or something like that, and I
Hmm.
think that what made people believe the Yoshi was only going to be in Brooklyn throughout the film, and that was it. Like have it like maybe he could have been like what Scrat is in the Ice Age films, where they'll occasionally cut back to him doing something stupid. uh, but like I'm glad, but judging from this plot leak, I'm glad that he's joining them on the whole adventure, which I think would be interesting. Um,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think
yeah,
he's such an iconic character. It'd be just for it wouldn't feel right for him to just be like kind of a cutaway gag.
yeah, exactly. Like yeah, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting these characters, and this plot leak is pretty good, and because it does feel more like an actual story this time rather than
Hmm.
rather than the first one, which is kind of my only really big criticism of the first film, where
Yeah,
it didn't have a story. It just didn't like it.
not really.
It had. I actually rewatched it again recently, and I think it has a first act and has a third act. It's the second act where it gets let down for me. I think in the second
Hmm.
act things just kind of happen. In the second act, and I think obviously it was their first go at doing a film in 30 years, and as their first go was pretty good. But I think they need to really get a really good tight plot for the second film.
Hmm.
Um, and
I
I
think it
really,
sounds like they've already got from that leak. It sounds like they've already got quite a lot of it relatively fleshed out.
yeah,
And you can imagine that if it is the different Koopalings for the seven different keepers of the universe,
yeah, exactly.
I feel like you can very easily kind of build that. It seems like a very good base, at least, to kind of keep the story flowing.
Mm. No, yeah, exactly. And I think and yeah, I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be I just hope it's a good story as well. I mean, look, I'm
Hmm.
not looking for like deep, meaningful stories of a Mario movie.
Yeah.
I've got Pixar films for that. And like independent made animated films like Flow
Hmm.
or something like that.
Hmm.
But even then, like I still just want even if it's like a simple and basic, I just want a story. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah, I know what you
something,
mean.
something
Exactly.
to really get your teeth into like a plot,
Hmm.
um, that you can just sit down and enjoy. Because the first film's plot, and I think that's where a lot of critics like really just didn't like it. With the because the main plot of it was just not that exist, not well, non-existent really. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I think they definitely need a much more grander story
Mm.
for this one. It's
Yeah.
really
Well, I
cool.
mean, like you said, it has a strong start, strong finish, but yeah, it does kind of get a bit iffy in the middle with
Yeah,
the last few.
exactly. Exactly, and I'm just hoping that they. One thing I'm hoping they do is like cut down on the fan service as well. I think that
Mm.
that's another thing I think that alienated a lot of critics was just like all the fan service and the Easter eggs and all that stuff. And having an Easter egg hunt is cool, but at the end of the day, like I'm here to watch a film. I'm not here to like look for things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
like I know, like you see, like obviously, and when I say that, I mean like I'm going into a film, and if I spot something in the background, or if I see something on multiple rewatches,
Mm.
like that's really cool. But if it's like going to experience where the ideal, where the main idea is for me to actually just look for things in the background, that's not really my ideal experience. It was cool, and the thing with fan service is as well. Like I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Fan service is a lot like cake. I love cake. I love eating cake.
Mm.
But if I have too much cake, I start to get sick of the cake. And I want no more cake, and that's kind of what fan service is. I think there was a YouTuber, I can't remember his name, but he did a video recently talking about fan service, where he said there was kind of like where it's sometimes it feels like studios treating the audiences like seals.
Mm.
Where it's kind of like they see something and they expect them to like clap and make noise when they see it, it's like a reference or anything. And I think like when it's and particularly when it doesn't make any sense, like have it in there where it feels like it's just there for the sake of it.
Mm.
Kind of like the one example I always go back to is Rogue One, a Star Wars story,
Yeah. Yeah.
where there's a part in Rogue One where C-3PO and R2-D2 have a cameo, and
Mm.
it's just one of those
Oh
things
yeah.
where
I
it's
think
like
so.
that they're like even when I first watched, it, I was like, what was the point of that? Having them on screen for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, like it's just they're putting it in for the hell of it, really.
Yeah, and I know people be like, "Oh well, they were in a New Hope, and like and so it makes sense." And it's like, yeah, but like it's just 2 seconds. It just
Yeah.
feels really forced. Um, and I think like that's where a lot of franchises have gone wrong recently. Particularly like this new era of Doctor Who with Ncuti Gatwa and Rusty Davis coming back, which I'm
Mm.
kind of really disappointed by with all the fan service and homework that people have had to do for the new series, and which is really shocking as well, considering that when Russell brought the show back in 2005, um, it was he kept the fan service like a bare. I like it when the fan service is kept like a bare minimum, and it's sort of
Mm.
like the occasional Easter egg when it's like every episode and every single like and it's in your
Yeah.
face and
So that makes it special. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It makes it less special.
Mm.
And I feel like I really hope they cut down on the fan service for this one and just
Mm.
focus on telling the story and don't go too crazy with Easter eggs. You can have one or two, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, don't like not like don't have it like the first film where it was like, look, reference in the background there. There's a cheap in there. Like you'll see that. Remember that from the games? It's like, yeah, I know, and it was cool the first time, but if you do it over and over again, it gets less special. And I think
Definitely.
they really need to cut that down for the sequel. I think.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I think yeah, like having a few in there is all right. Like rewarding people for paying attention.
Mm.
But yeah, like it definitely went a bit overboard in the first movie. It got a
Yeah.
bit
Look.
tiresome, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't feel special really.
Mm.
There were so many. Like there was something in the background of nearly every scene in that one.
Yeah,
It
and it's
felt
like
like.
exactly, and it's like we don't need that. Like,
Mm.
like as great as it is having it being made by fans who are passionate about the games and everything like that. Like, cut down on the fan service. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need fan service for that. But talking of fan service though, what elements from the Galaxy games would you like to see included
Mm.
in this one?
I mean, the big one for me is going to be. I mean, obviously the planet hopping being
Mm.
that. I mean, you can't really have a Galaxy movie without that. But I'd really like to see the kind of because when you play the games, you visit such a range of different planets,
Yeah,
um, each with their own very unique environments. And so I'd really like to. That's one big element that I'd really, really love to see.
yeah.
Um, and again, we've already spoken about Rosalina, and I really hope that again they kind of can flesh her out as like a you know
Mm.
important and complex character as she is in the games.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of things I want to see. Or I would like to see. I'd like to see Rosalina's storybook in the film
Yeah.
at somehow. I think it will be because obviously they've make it a big talking point for the re-releases of Galaxy 1 and 2. And
Mm.
also, they've actually made Rosalina's storybook an actual product you can buy and
Oh,
purchase from
okay.
the Nintendo
Wow.
store. I don't think the new pages that are being added into the remasters. I don't think they're not going to be in it. The
Hmm.
actual physical copy of the book, but yeah, I think it'll be cool. So I love to see that. Like maybe that's where Peach finds out where she's really from. She comes across this book and she reads it, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is where I'm from." Oh, like that could be interesting. Um, or they just learn more about Rosalina's backstory by reading it. Um, or maybe like they hear Rosalina reading like a chapter, and then they check the book out for themselves and they realize she's talking to them about her own experiences.
Hmm.
But one thing I would really like to see actually is the ending to the first Galaxy being adapted into this film somehow. I liked because obviously there's the ending to the first Galaxy where all the Lumas kind of sacrifice themselves to stop this black hole from being created.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a really great emotional scene, a really great impactful emotional scene. Particularly like in the end of the first game when, because obviously there's a Luma that goes into Mario's hat, and that's what gives him the spinning ability. And
Hmm.
then at the end of the game, that Luma kind of leaves him and waves goodbye to him, and you can see him kind of like reaching out to Luma, being like, "No, wait, don't leave." And the Luma, like all the Lumas, just go into this black hole, and it's actually really sad, to be fair, like with the music
Yeah.
and everything like
No,
that.
it was a really great ending. Definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, it would be really quite interesting to see if they adapt, like, if Chris Pratt at the end of this film is gonna look up to the sky and go, "Welcome, new galaxy," in the same
Hmm.
way Charles Martinet said in the video game that's based on. Um, but yeah, I think that's mainly what I want to see because I think that ending would be really cool. I think that ending would be really great actually.
Hmm.
Um, I think that would be like Mario has this Luma kind of joins them on their adventure, and then it kind of sacrifices itself to stop this black hole from being created, and it creates new planets as well. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that could be a really great, impactful and emotional ending for it, and that could be a great like kind of grander ending to this story. Um, what else from the game? I'd like to see the launch stars as well in this film somehow. I think that could be quite fun. Mario
Hmm.
Luigi like going to this launch star and he's kind of like, "How does this work?" And he spins and he blasts off into space, and they like crash.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to have those kind of. I feel like those are essential
Yeah,
if you're going to do it in the Galaxy universe.
yeah,
It'll be interesting to see about the what's called the superstars as well.
Hmm.
Seeing like how they kind of implement that, if they implement them at all.
yeah.
Um,
The power stars. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because I'm not sure how. Yeah, is there just going to be like, obviously, is there going to be like one per planet? Is there going to be like just one overall? Like, is that what the main
yeah.
plot's going to be? They're fighting for the one power star. Like,
Well, I think in the Galaxy games they had Grand Stars, so that
yeah,
could be the thing that they're that they're hide that they're guarding. The Koopalings are
mm,
guarding from Mario and his friends. I think that could be really cool to have.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but on the opposite side of that, what changes do you want to see made? Are there any changes that you would like to see? Like anything?
Um, I mean, obviously in the Mario Galaxy game, there's lots of minor planets, and I think you could kind of gloss over that to a certain extent. I can
Yeah.
see some kind of like compilation. I don't know whether there's some sort of chase scene where they're like chasing one of the Koopalings or they're chasing Bowser Jr. and they go. You just see them like going over lots of these kind of small planets. And again, that could be an opportunity for like a few East or like an Easter egg in there, maybe somewhere when they're doing all this like planet jumping.
Hmm.
I think you can gloss over that. I think that they'll probably stick to like a few major planets, but yeah, obviously there's like a lot of hopping from different small planet to small planet in the games, and obviously you don't really need that just for consistency's sake. I think it could be quite confusing if that's kind of in the movie.
Hmm. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know if there's any changes I would like to see made. I mean, I'd like to see a few more changes made. I'd like to see Nintendo give Illumination a little bit more freedom
Mm.
with it. I know that they did come up with some bad ideas for the first film that Nintendo shut down. Like they had the thing there was going to be a thing called floatanium, and
Oh god,
that was going to be their explanation as to why there's like bricks floating in the air in the Mushroom
great.
Kingdom. And I think Nintendo were kind of like, no, like we don't need to explain that.
Yeah,
Which I appreciate. I liked how they just allowed the world to be the world. Um,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would say like change up, maybe slightly change Rosalia's backstory, have her working with Peaches, have them be
Mm,
related somehow. I'd like to see that. Um, maybe Daisy cameos in this one somehow. I don't know. That's not really a change, but still, it's hard to think of changes. But I wouldn't mind
yeah,
like it's hard to think of changes until you see them in action. Uh,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
uh,
we'll be able to kind of tell from the first trailer, hopefully.
yeah. Speaking of which, when do you think we can expect it? The first trailer.
I mean, obviously, I want to say just as soon as possible. Like, especially with
Mm.
Galaxy being, like I said, one of my favorite Mario games. I just, I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what they do with it. Honestly.
Well, I think.
Um,
Sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say, I think, I would say first trailer. I would say within the next. I would hopefully say within the next couple months. I'd like to say.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Nintendo is that again they like to stick to their routines and their patterns.
Hmm.
So if you look at again, like I was saying earlier, so if you look back at like the pattern for the first one,
Yeah.
they released the first year's trailer in October of
Hmm.
2022, and that was
Yeah.
for New York Comic Con. They had a Nintendo Direct dedicated to it, and they're probably going to do
Hmm.
the same thing with this one, I imagine. The
Okay,
second trailer
that makes
came out.
sense.
Yeah, the second trailer came out in like November of 2022, so a month later. We'll probably get a second trailer then. Third
Hmm.
trailer came out on Mario Day 2023, a month before the film's release, so we'll probably get that then. And then, obviously, because the film comes out, it's coming out in April again, like it did last time. They're sticking with
Oh,
like
I
the
see.
April.
So it's probably
Yeah,
going to stick to, yeah, I see what you mean. A
yeah.
similar kind of timeline.
Yeah, exactly. Like they like to stick to their routines. It's kind of like how for years all the Nintendo X were always February, June, and September.
Hmm.
Up until the Switch 2 came out, and they obviously had to rework things. But I've got a feeling that come next year they'll probably jump back to that routine as well. Like that'll just they like to take. That's another thing as well. They're not that hard. It's not that hard to predict what they're going to do. Like if you keep like a look on their routines and stuff like that. So I feel like next month we'll probably get the first trailer. I wouldn't be surprised if
Hmm.
they like have it at New York Comic Con again, like they did last time.
I mean, that'd be great. Yeah.
Mm. And they'll probably do a Nintendo Direct as well, where they'll have casting characters, cast that show up and introduce each trailer. It was funny when they, it was funny when they did the first one for the first
Hmm.
film, and you had Chris Pratt, and he was like, oh, "I remember stomping on Coopers," and I think someone commented saying, "Why does it say Cooper like it's a racial slur?"
Oh god.
Yeah, exactly. I think there'll be a lot of fun moments in those. I think. But even though as well, but also that could be when we see the castings for Wario, Bowser Jr., Rosalina as well. I think that first direct for the first trailer, that's when we'll find out the castings for those characters if they are in this
Hmm.
film, as the plot leak is led to believe. Um, we'll find out who they're voiced by. We'll find out if Yoshi's being voiced by anyone, which God I hope not. Please. I've seen people suggest like Bill Hader, and it's like fuck off.
I mean, it'll
No,
probably be something similar to how Groot is voice acted. Technically, there is, a voice actor for him, but
yeah, he's voiced by Vin Diesel.
yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be like one.
Not sure if Vin Diesel is a good match for Yoshi, but
He's just like Yoshi, Yoshi. Let's go.
oh god.
No, just stick to the game voice actor. You literally used her voice clips in the first film for the end credit scene. You may as well use them for this film.
Yeah, it makes. Pardon me. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes the most sense in my mind.
Yeah. Last thing, actually, let's talk about the music. 'Cause,
Hmm.
as well, because obviously the music for the first film was pretty good. I think Brian Tyler did a great job with the soundtrack. With one exception though, that's of course being the pop songs. Just that were just
Yeah.
randomly, which at times just felt randomly inserted. I think a few of them made sense, like "No Sleep Till Brooklyn." Sure, they're in Brooklyn. That makes sense.
Hmm.
"I Need a Hero" when he's doing the training montage. Okay, fine, I get that. But then you have like Aha's "Take on Me" when they're entering the Donkey Kong's like homeland, the Jungle Kingdom, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, why is this song playing? This just feels like so out of left field. uh,
Um, I mean, I would like to see them stick relatively to kind of the soundtrack of the game as closely as
yeah,
possible.
mm,
Um,
with the soundtracks, the first one was weird because they would have like little motifs of the game soundtracks, but they wouldn't actually like play the full things.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like
I,
I don't know, especially for Galaxy. I feel like the soundtrack is a big
mm,
thing in Galaxy. Like it really makes the game,
yeah, it could,
especially that main theme. Which again, like you said, for the kind of title reveal, they were playing that kind of motif,
yeah.
which does make me hopeful that they're going to be stick to the original soundtrack a bit more than the first one.
Yeah, I hope so because it's a good soundtrack. I mean, it could be due to licensing issues. Maybe that was why they could only play little snippets of game music in
Yeah,
the first film.
yeah,
But it could be one of those things where maybe Nintendo have given Brian Tyler you can you can have the full license to do renditions of our classic soundtrack. And I just hope again no pop songs. There's no reason for pop songs to be in this to be. There was no reason for pop songs to be in the first film. There's no reason. There's definitely no reason for it to be in this film. Let's just have good classical music. You can make like original songs if you want to. Like again, maybe Rosaline has a song. Maybe the Lumas have a song. Like that's fine. But like no, that pop songs absolutely not. I do not want to hear I do not want to hear um, that. I don't any pop songs in this film. I was trying to think of a
no,
recent one, but I can't think of any.
no, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of it was a big critique of the first one. I think it's what the fans want.
Hmm.
Yeah, less of the kind of just it feels like forcefully inserted pop
Yeah.
music. Yeah,
I know people will say like, "Oh, but Shrek had pop songs," and it's like, yeah, but the pop songs in Shrek actually made sense. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like I mean, the Shrek soundtrack has got to be one of the most iconic soundtracks in movie history.
yeah, exactly. And it's like it made sense for that film to do it, and I don't think that every animated film on the planet needs to do it.
No, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone, that is it. The Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out April 2026. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of the few animated sequels still coming out in 2026 because most of them got delayed. Mutant Mayhem 2 is supposed to come out next year, but that got delayed to 2027. Shrek 5 is supposed to come out next year, that got delayed to 2027. Ice Age 6 got delayed to 2027. So the only animated sequels coming out still next year is this and Toy Story 5, which is
Mm.
absolutely disappointing. I hate this, man. I hate this how like everyone's getting. I hate delays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just getting annoying now. Like I get it, the pandemic, everything like that, but it's just starting to
Mm.
get to a point now where it's just feeling like more like a trend, and it's kind of like, oh, if this film doesn't go, like we can just delay it for a couple of months, it'll be fine.
Mm.
It's like I was really looking forward to next December because that's like we had Shrek 5, Ice Age 6,
Mm.
Avengers, Doomsday, and Dune 3 or Doom Messiah, all coming out that 1 month, and then obviously it would been coming out. Shrek 5 would come out the same year as Toy Story 5, and this it was going to be interesting, but nah, man, it's all been pushed to 2027.
Mm.
I remember when studios actually like said, "Oh yeah, this film's coming out on this day at this time," and actually stuck to it. Remember that? Remember consistency?
The good old days.
The good old days, yeah, the good old days of fucking consistency. But yeah, anyway, Mario Galaxy film comes out next year. Looking
Mm.
forward to it. Hope Can't wait for the first trailer. We'll see what it says, see what it's like, everything like that. See who's coming back. See who's coming. See who new characters getting introduced and all
Mm.
that stuff. What about you, Alex? You looking forward to it?
Oh god, I can't wait for that first trailer. I'm counting down the days.
Mhm. Yeah, man. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it'll be October. The first
Mm.
teaser trailer. If not, I'll cry. No, I'm joking. But yeah, everyone,
Ah,
that is it for this episode of my Isolation podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I guess we'll see you whenever we see you next.